Coach, there will be time for reflection, certainly as the season goes on, but for what might be the final time in the East Bay, it is opening night of the NFL season here in Oakland, California. The pregame festivities here in Oakland have to be seen to be believed. This crowd in silver and black, they are fired up as their Raiders get set to face off with the Denver Broncos. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Now the first-round pick from Alabama, Josh Jacobs. He finds an opening past the 40. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
65, 65, 65.
Here's Jacobs. Fighting his way down to about the 35-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
The throw complete here to Williams. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
Just play number 3 here on the opening drive, and it's an early 3rd and 1. Carr now to throw. Oh, he almost picked it. Nearly a turnover there on their opening drive. That's a throw he'd like to have back. Now 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Well, all offseason, probably a lot of thought goes into that first drive of week 1. They didn't get the touchdown, but at least they got something.
And what I like about it is that they didn't overthink it, because you're exactly right. A lot goes into the offseason, the preseason to get to that first drive of the regular season. They went right downfield, mission accomplished, points on the board.
Flacco going to bring up the Broncos 1st and 10 at their own 23. Now the Notre Dame man, this is Theo Riddick. And he's swallowed up right near the line of scrimmage. P.J. Hall there to make the tackle.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level, because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
First down, Broncos.
Ready. Check 55 to Mike. You better be afraid.
Flacco from midfield. And down he goes. Brought down a Raiders sack. The big man, P.J. Hall, had the path to the QB there.
Well, the beauty of screen passes is they take a little time to develop, and they can often hit big, but sometimes they take too long to develop, and sometimes you get sacked.
Yeah, what's perfectly called for a defense to attack a screen?
Typically a blitz, and even though people think that the screen operates against the blitz, if you have the blitz called and you still cover the screen, now that allows your blitzers to get there.
A big gain there after going backwards, and that'll lead to a third down. Hamilton, the fourth-round pick, had a very productive career at Penn State where he was teammates with Saquon Barkley. And the tandem of he and Cortland Sutton brings some solid youth to that Bronco receivers room. And now the 20 Hamilton hoping to build on what was a 30-catch campaign from a season ago as a rookie. Flacco fakes the give, sets to throw. Got a man, he finds Sanders. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 17-yard line. How about the start throwing the football? 4 for 4 on this opening drive.
Oh, he's slinging it. And oftentimes when you talk about slinging it, you're thinking about a guy throwing it all over the yard, not necessarily accurately. In this case, though, he's honing in on his targets, and he's delivering.
Yeah, the opening script, however, they drew it up for this first drive, going to plan so far. That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7.
Check. You're over here. Hurry up.
And they'll try the jet sweep here. And that one covered beautifully. Their defenders stayed home, and they'll stop him behind the line. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up third down. Ninth play of the drive coming up, and certainly not an easy one on 3rd and long. From the gun, Flacco. He's got a man. It's Sutton. That's complete. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. A 20-yard touchdown. And the Broncos have taken the lead.
I think if you polled defensive backs, they would say the corner route, take that out, make it illegal, because that is so hard to recognize and so hard to adjust, because your first move is to not get beat in the middle of the field, and that's how they move you first before they break off to the corner.
But then as the wide receiver, great job. It's tough to turn those upfield and go, but he did a great job with it there.
Really good balance, really good body control. And how about the end result? A touchdown.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. They finished off their opening drive of the campaign with a field goal on the last drive. Now they'll search for a touchdown here on this go-around. 1st and 10. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
47's the mic.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. 9 yards the pickup there, and it's a first down.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
They go play action here on first down. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10.
47's the mic. 47's the mic. Come on, boy. Come on, boy. 93. 93. Kill. Check 43.
To throw again. Carr. This is caught. It's Ryan Grant. And this is going to be another first down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos' 39. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Carr with a play fake to Jacobs. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down. They'll run on first down. It's Jacobs, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play, and that'll make this a 2nd and 13.
Let's go, D.
They fake the handoff. Now Carr looking for the end zone. Back of the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete.
When teams take shots at the end zone, you've got to defend it the same way you would defend the first down sticks. You defend the goal line exactly the same way. They can't cross that. You play through the receivers, and on that play, that's exactly what they did and batted it away.
Mike's 47. Mike's 47. And let's pin the mirrors back and go full strength.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Carr got a man open. It's Darren Waller. And they'll get this down to the 10. First catch of the new season for him, and he picks up the first.
Complete to number 83. First down and goal to go.
This will probably be the last play of the quarter. After 1, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. Second quarter from Oakland, the homestanding Raiders with the football here as they go to work on a 1st and goal. The Raiders into the red zone for the first time. They've got a 1st and goal from the 10-yard line. Back to the running game with Jacobs. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. It's a gain of a couple, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
Well, they've certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
On 2nd and goal, Carr. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
On 2nd down now, it's Lindsey. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of the yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
Flacco's throw there complete, and he'll be brought down right around the 37. 4 yards on the pickup, and it'll bring up a 2nd down. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Here's Flacco off the play fake to Lindsey. Left side here to Sanders. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 43. Boy, the evolution of the game and how these guys on plays like that can get out of the pocket, keep plays alive, it just makes things so much harder for defenses. And hit behind the line. He lost the football. It's loose. And he cuts it out right sideline. Some space here. 20. And he's over the line and in for a Raider touchdown. So this defense clicking early in the year. Week 1, the return for a touchdown.
The organization made a concerted effort in the offseason to improve this defense. I have to say they like the early returns.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the lead is now 10-7. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
Let's go. Let's go.
The Broncos take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive.
Hey, we got to get this stop here, D. Check 9, check 9.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. On 2nd down, a run with Lindsay. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, because they bring in your tight end, keep him in. Your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offense.
Looking for Sanders, and it's intercepted. LaMarcus Joyner with a pick.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs. And it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
At their own 49-yard line.
The Oakland offense about ready to start this next drive. Well, what do you think? You get the ball off the turnover near the middle of the field. You take a shot here in the first play?
You know I'm big on that. I love when I have great field position. After a turnover, I feel like I might have a little bit off balance. I prefer to take...
And he's going to be swallowed up. Sacked back at the 45-yard line. Derek Wolfe popping in for the sack. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. Tyrell Williams was the intended target, and it's 3rd down.
Shoot, shoot, shoot. In the face.
From the gun, it's Carr. He's got his man. It's Williams. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. It's a gain of 20 and picking up the first.
1st and 10 at the 36-yard line.
Monday, down. 180. You better bring it. You better bring it. I'm letting you know right now, you better bring it.
Play action. Now it's Carr. Being chased out left. And avoids the contact by sliding. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble. And it's 2nd down.
At the Broncos 39-yard line.
Hey, we're good, we're good. 180.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. Oh, he dropped it. They were looking for him in the middle 3rd. He couldn't catch it. Now 3rd down. Got to get to the 26 for a first. This is 3rd down.
Express. Be ready, be ready. 4-7's the mic, 4-7.
Carr gives to Rashard. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. It's a gain of 5, and now the question, will the offense stay out there on 4th and 1?
For the Raider field goal, a 44-yard attempt.
The kick by Carlson is good. And the lead stretches to 6 here. It's 13-7. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
After the made field goal, Carlson now sets up to kick this away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily that you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. And we remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll hand things off to the coach, Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have a look back at a very intriguing opening weekend in the NFL. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. A big pickup of 38. They went with the nickel look defensively, so they had 5 defensive backs in there. Didn't help them stop the run.
Yeah, I love that, the nickel look. 5 cents, 5 DB.
Under pressure, and he'll go down back at the 26-yard line. So after the sack, they'll come up on a still manageable 2nd and 13. Here's Flacco. That is caught at the 7. And he'll be out of bounds about a half to a full yard shy of the 5. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. So it's 1st and goal and a great opportunity to get that lead back before the break. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's brought down right at the 5-yard line. Give him 2 on the play. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play,
and this is caught. For the moment, it's a touchdown, but multiple flags down, so let's sort this out. That's on the rookie Dalton Reisner. Flacco here on 2nd down. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. From 10 yards out. And now they can recapture the lead if they can make the PAT.
A good tight end is a heck of a weapon for any quarterback, especially when you're able to create some mismatches. Sometimes they work against a linebacker. Sometimes they work against a smaller defensive back. But when they find it, they go to it, and it often results in touchdowns.
After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line.
The Raiders take over 1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. You're under 30 seconds to go. Field position not great. Time to call it a half, wouldn't you say?
Well, you know we all have that little extra gene that says let's push the envelope a little bit, right? What needs to be going through the play caller's mind right now, a potential fumbled snap that can get returned, a strip sack that can get returned, right? Any of those types of plays, that should be a deterrent to calling something that could get you in big trouble.
One down. 185. Hey, come on, now. Come on, now. Express. Hey, check Mike 47. Check 282.
On 1st down, Carr. This one to Foster Moreau, the rookie from LSU. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the 1st half. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down.
You're mine.
Let's go, hey. Well, Mike 34, Mike.
Express.
Let's make these babies cry all the way back home, yo. Let's make these babies cry all the way back home.
34.
Shotgun now for Carr. Pressure from his right, and he goes down hard, flat on his back. Now the Raiders going to burn their third and final timeout, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a second down and 17.
Switch it.
Here's Carr. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. And this is going to be another first down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos' 34-yard line. So we have reached halftime here in the final game of opening weekend 2019. As we'll send you back over to Orlando with our EA Sports Halftime Report, here's Jonathan Coachman. We'll see if Week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he loses the football a second time. But this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same.
I don't know about you, but I could hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. Ball goes over the sideline, able to retain possession, no turnover. I know his coaches are screaming, just hang on to the ball, man. Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. 16 yards, a first down. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. He'll get the first down and more inside the 20. And he'll finally be taken down at the 18. A good gain again. That's now 31 yards combined on those last two plays. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, it's Lindsey. And good downhill running. He's got 6 yards down to the 13. Now after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. Hate to see this. Week 1 of the season. We'll be back. They'll run it now out of the gun. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. Only a yard that time, 2nd and goal. Good first step there defensively, but they're still knocking on the doorstep, so maybe another run here?
I think so. One of my favorite coaches, you say, son, if you can...
And he will take it in for a Bronco touchdown. A 3-yard touchdown run. And the Broncos push further out in front.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you've got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
McManus's point after is good, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. Carr now 11 of 17 passing thus far. He's got his guys a 1st and 10. Here's Carr to throw. Got a man over the middle. It's Williams. 7 yards the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, you often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for 2nd down, staying ahead of schedule. And he'll get it out to midfield. Yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. 7 yards there and a 1st down. 24th pick in the spring by Oakland was Josh Jacobs. Only rushed for 640 yards last year at Alabama, but when you consider the offensive depth chart they had, it makes it understandable. So young, won't turn 22 until February, and they're really hoping that the veteran presence of 30-year-old Doug Martin can be a guiding light for Jacobs. Carr's throw here caught by Williams, and they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. That one will go as a gain of 11. Raiders having a 1st down as well.
1st down. 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Throwing now is Carr. Escaping the pressure right. And he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. Same exact result as last play, a pickup of 11.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
On 1st down, Jacobs trying to run inside, but nothing there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
Throwing on 2nd down, Carr. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
An incomplete pass on 2nd down. It muddles things a little bit here. This is 3rd and 10.
Check your mind. Bang, 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 bang.
To throw is Carr. And that is incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. And that hits the right upright and caroms away. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. So kind of a tough break there. No real hooker slice to that one, but he's denied by the upright.
And he basically hits it just straight as an arrow. But yeah, since he's on the hash mark to begin with, straight as an arrow isn't good enough.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to use his blockers to get this up over the 40. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick, he's been decisive, and he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
They go back to Riddick. And for one of the first times all night, he is going to go nowhere as they bury him behind the line. The tally there, -2 yards, brings up 3rd down. 3rd down, Flacco from the gun. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. A pickup of 24 on the 3rd down conversion. Under a minute to go in this third quarter as they come up 1st and 10.
Check 26, check 26.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Right back to him on 1st down. And he coughed it up. We are through 3 quarters here on NFL Kickoff Weekend. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's taken down after a gain of 3 as they move it from the 22 to the 19.
I like that run right there, partner. Not the flashiest run, not the one that's going to break for big yardage, but he understands the situation, and taking care of the football, paramount, and he got it done.
Nursing that slim lead, you're exactly right. Hold on to that ball.
Got that, Monday, set. Roger, 5-0. Hey, dude.
Flacco to throw here on 3rd down. Completes it to Fant on the right side. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to make it a 2-score game. And McManus able to put it through. And that will extend their lead even further. A big one there. That gives them a little cushion and makes it a 2-score game.
Yeah, bled a little time off the clock, put some points on the board. It's not totally out of reach yet, but it has to feel pretty good to them right now because as a defender, you go out on the field and say, guess what? You can put some points on the board, but that won't beat us.
And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line.
At their own 26-yard line.
The Oakland offense about ready to start this next drive. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. But let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
To throw again on 2nd down. Carr, Waller taking it in over the middle. And this is going to be another 1st down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos' 44-yard line.
All right, this is the time of the game where they're down a couple of scores, and they've really got to get some yards in chunks, and they know the defense doesn't want to give those up, but they've got to find a way to take them anyway.
Now the question is, can they string a few of those together? And the Broncos get there and take him down. The man who won a Super Bowl MVP award across the bay in Santa Clara, Von Miller. The blitz works to perfection as he gets in there to dump him for a loss of 8. Derek Carr, 3 fourth-quarter comebacks for the Raiders last year, and they only won 4 games total, so they've got some experience dealing with tight ones. And this is caught. A spectacular one-handed grab there.
It's got to the point where we see guys like that make that type of a catch. Not fair goes through my brain. That size, that speed, and now they're acting like wide receivers, too.
Yeah, tight end one-handed catches. They're kind of like wide receiver one-handed catches nowadays.
Just not right.
Carr. And that will be incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it.
93. 47
Carr going to go on 4th down. Able to find Waller. That's complete. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down.
At the 26-yard line.
Monday, down. 180.
47. Get that quarterback. And on call.
40 express.
47 is the mic. I hope you brought your lunch because I'm about to take you to school. No.
Low.
On 1st and 10, here's Carr. And a big loss here as he's taken down. The sack there by Bradley Chubb.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Hey, Raider 2.
After the sack on 1st down, Carr. And that going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
Well, he'd been targeted quite a bit on this drive, and finally I think the guys on the defensive side, they said no more. They slapped the double coverage on him, made it very tough for him to get the ball.
9th play of the drive now on 3rd and a country mile. Working from the gun, it's Carr. Eluding the pressure right. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. The scramble good for a nice gain of 10 yards, but still 4th down.
Well, there were a couple of extra defensive backs in the game, so he really had nowhere to go with the football despite his search for an open receiver. So he has to take off and run for it, but he comes up well short of the line to gain.
And this one is going to just tuck into the bottom left corner as he gets it to go. And that'll make this an 8-point game. Well, maybe a little bit of an anxious moment there as that ball got closer and closer, but it does curl in.
Yeah, actually did a little bit of a slow dance there with the left upright, didn't it? But had just enough space, as you said, for it to curl in.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. They have the lead, obviously, late in the game. I guess the good news for them is if for some reason they would make a mistake, a field goal does the opposition no good.
Everyone loves to have a little bit of a cushion, and that helps you immeasurably. But the bottom line is, do all the things that you're taught in order to close out the game. Don't even let that become an issue.
Yeah, but still a one-possession game. This one not fully over yet. Exactly 50 yards on that last play as they just go from 125 to the other for 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Well, with the fumble he had earlier, we know how key keeping the football is here. That fumble earlier probably at the forefront of his mind. Just hold on to this thing.
It's also at the forefront of the mind of the guys who are trying to get the ball from him. And since they've seen him drop it on the ground before, they're doing everything possible to have him do it again. They need that turnover.
They got 2 of the 3 they needed there. Leaves them with 3rd and just a yard. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll have the 1st down, getting this one to the 14-yard line. Just enough to get the 1st down there with a 1-yard pickup. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. 4th quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a 1-score game. So it's Bronco football as we get you reset here. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. That'll go as a loss of 5, and it'll make this a 2nd and long.
Hey, check. Rush in.
And he'll give it here to his running back. Oh, no, he lost the football.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free. but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. The Broncos on third down. They've been very good, 5 for 7 thus far. This is going to be 3rd and 13. Going to give this time to the tailback. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Now the Raiders going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as it comes with 1:15 left to go in the second half. The kick by McManus is good. And that will bump the lead up to 11. So his second field goal of the game, and that could turn out to be the big one.
Yeah, you have to make them score twice to beat you, and that's not impossible. But here in the fourth quarter, puts their backs clearly against the wall.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Now Carr. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
On 2nd and 10. Carr. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. It's Chris Harris with a pick.
Obviously disappointing, but you had to go for broke here, down 2 scores. So that forced you to make some throws you definitely wouldn't want to make. And I think this interception is going to pretty much write an end to this one.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And a short gain across the 15 to the 17-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down. I guess the simple question, why not just take a knee there?
I don't understand either why you would take any sort of a chance. We've seen it happen in the game of football. Doesn't matter whether you've watched high school, college, or the NFL. Some people get a little greedy, try to get that extra running play in, and it can backfire on them.
They go down to a knee, and the new campaign off to a good start. It's a win here in Week 1. So this one will wind up a Denver victory. And, partner, I must say, good to see you again. Been too long. And it's good to have football back, isn't it?
Didn't you see me in preseason? Weren't we together in preseason?
Yeah, but preseason, it's preseason. This is Week 1.
Oh, you're trying to say real football.
Real football.
Not preseason football where we shake down the rosters and figure out who's going to play, and maybe the starters don't play as much. Now it's the frontline guys from the first whistle.
Yeah, I tuned you out in the preseason, but now I'm listening to you. So for the Broncos, hey, you get a win, you get it on the road. You can't ask for much more than that to start the year. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Raiders, they go down to defeat here in the opener. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.